What's up, guys? It's Bree, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be giving my initial review because I definitely have to go watch it again of Wicked. So if you're interested, stay tuned. And if you're not, stay tuned too.
Alright, they asking for the queen. I'm a bad bitch, she's a savage. Look back while I twerk. No comparison.
Alright, guys, so let's go ahead and dive into it. I don't know if you've noticed my Wicked merch. It's the jacket, has a nice, it's a zip up hoodie, has a little emblem up here with the W, got the Glenda, got the alphabet, and it's got like the night sky, I guess, their brooms and their scepter. And then I also have on the sleeve, if you look at that, it's their profiles. And on the back, don't judge back my hair either, because I don't look back there, got Wicked on the back. I have not stopped wearing this since I got it. I got this actually right before we went to go see the movie. My cousin, she works at a place that they sell, like sell stuff, and the guy who works there, he doesn't really like witches and all that kind of stuff, so he gave stuff for free. So we got this right here. We also got two sweaters. My sister was talking about the brand because she used to work at a store, and it's like, no, this is like a really, really good brand. I don't know, but it's very, very nice sweater. I'll probably have like a little picture in here on the side or something like that of me in the sweaters. It's Good Witch and Bad Witch. So cute. Love that. And it kind of just like, and it's like now I want people to know, like, hey, ask me about the movie. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, I have never seen the play. I've heard about it. I first found out about it in the ninth grade when I was introduced to Glee. And on Glee, they sung that song, Defying Gravity. Rachel and Kurt, they both wanted to sing the song for different reasons, and that's the first time I heard the song. I fell in love with that song, Defying Gravity, because of that show. Like, I loved it. Mind you, Leah Michelle can sing, okay? She can sing down. And then Kurt, I enjoyed his singing, but that song itself, it was just so powerful and moving to me. I was like, oh, I love this. But I never had the opportunity to ever like see it or anything like that. So I had no idea what the story was. I just knew that if you're a theater kid, like people love that play, so you have to watch this. And I kind of am a self isolated theater kid. I was going to do the theater program at my Magna High School, but then I ended up choosing culinary arts because that was the safe option. Look, when I start doing these videos more, you'll learn more about me. I always choose the safe option and then realize that was boring. I should have done something else. But anyway, I very thoroughly enjoy it. I wrote some notes. I wrote some questions that I have about the movie. And I would have said what I think will happen, but I accidentally spoiled it for myself. Like I said, I'd never seen this movie before, so I have no idea what the plot is, what's going to happen, any of that stuff. But I found out what ends up happening, which kind of did spoil it for me, but I am still excited to see the movie next year. So let's go ahead and jump into it though. Yeah, we missed, so annoyed. We missed the very, 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 very beginning of the movie. When we came in, Elphaba is being given to like the bear, or the bear is taking her away after after Nessa Rose is born. And I'm like, okay, it's still early, but I was annoyed because I'm like, I want to see the previews and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at how early we are in the film, and I'm like, no, we missed the very, 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 very beginning, but you know what? It's fine. We didn't miss that much. Watch the movie, enjoy it. Little did I find out. I found out this after when I did find out about the whole next part stuff. I did find out that that very little part that we missed had crucial information, and I'm pretty sure that some of the questions I have in here could have probably been answered in that. Like I said, I found out from that spoiler video I seen, and then I also downloaded the Wicked soundtrack. And in the very first song, when they're singing the song, "No One Mourns the Wicked," when she's talking about, oh, this is how Elphaba grew up, this is her mom, she did it. I heard it in the song, so I was like, oh, so I missed it. Whatever. I'll have to watch it again, which I do plan on doing, but I haven't yet. So if I were here, I also noticed a lot of the Easter eggs, like in Popular when she gave her the ruby red slippers. That was the Easter egg. I know there was an Easter egg in the very, 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 very beginning because I've seen the trailers when it opens. You see like the Tin Man and all of them like going into town, which I kind of don't understand now. Finding out what happens after the fact. Um, Now, if that didn't happen, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I've only seen it once. I need to see it again. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. There was also. Oh, I feel like I can't think now. I feel like I've seen videos of this, and I guess you can say that. I have to watch it again to like confirm. But I feel like I've seen people say like they put little hints as far as like when Bach is dancing or doing certain stuff, it's in a very like robotic way, and it's supposed to be a nod to that, to him being the Tin Man. I mean, I guess. Also Fierro when he's dancing, the way he's very like fluid or whatever, and also the fact that he doesn't have like because he's not thinking about certain stuff, something like that. And talking about how that's foreshadowing him being the Scarecrow. Sure. The only one that I definitely got right away, but I just more so had a question about, like, I wonder if, was the Lion Cub, right? Um, was the Lion Cub. I'm like, where did Lion Cub come from? But I feel like I'm jumping around already. Let's try to reel back in. Okay, here we go. Um, I said the Easter eggs that I've noticed, such as the ruby red slippers during Popular, but I believe the shoes the governor gave Nessa were the real ruby slippers. Because, like I said, I've never seen the thing, and then I did find out that basically the ruby slippers were never ruby in like the play or in the book. They were red because when the Wizard of Oz premiered, that was like the premiere of Telecolor for TV. So they wanted to amplify that by making them red, like a really pop out color. And they also play off of the brick road, like they really stand out. But they're not like them being red was only for that. So they are supposed to be that color. That those are the shoes that the mom left for the girls, and the dad gave to Nessa Rose put on her feet. And in my mind, I'm wondering if they do eventually turn red. And I know in the original stories in the play, like if they don't turn red, but I wonder if for the movie they will allow them to. Like I like the design that they make the shoes, but it's like y'all can make that red, can't you? They already shot the movie, so it's like y'all could do it. But I mean, I get it if you don't. I'm not mad about it. Let me see. Another was the Asian male. I forgot his name. He's the one from Saturday Night Live. Love him. I think his name was like Bokeem, something like that. I don't know. He had a wicked playbill when they were at the train station, and they're in the big crowd. It's kind of quick. They do show it twice, but the second time I feel like it's a different kind of pamphlet, like one for Oz, like the actual like in universe. But he had a wicked, like the original like Broadway one. He had like a playbill in his hand. I did see that. If you watch it again, go back and look for that. I may try to find like a little clip of it and put it in here because I've seen people posting pretty much the whole movie. Let me think. During the song where Elphaba gets personally invited to stay, the song is called "The Wizard and I." When she's talking about wanting to ask for him to greenify her, because that's always been her heart's desire, and that's supposed to be what he will give you, like your wish. She always wanted to be degrenified, and in that scene, and I did hear about this, but I actually saw it, and I really I like that part. They said that with the lighting and with color theory, they were able for that part with the little like metal glass pieces hanging around, they were able to like do the camera angles and all that kind of stuff to have the lighting, even after they did this in post, the lighting change her green skin to brown skin. So it's just like, hey, just so you know, she's still black. Okay. And it's weird because it's like this movie, this play, this book that all this came from is essentially about racism and implementing systemic hurdles for people and or animals. So like the same way how this is basically a con man from the deep south in America during Jim Crow times. He knows, oh, all we got to do is find one enemy. Let's go from the blacks to the animals. Oh, there's this other one. Perfect. Let's just lump this green girl in here. Put her in there too, you know? And I really like that, especially in this time. I think this was the perfect time for this movie to come out because beforehand people wouldn't have appreciated it um, politically. I don't want to say culturally, because I think the culture of it is definitely theater. Like the theater kids was gonna love it regardless. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like people can appreciate it more now, just with what's going on in the times. Um, Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. That's why I really can't wait to see what happens next. Um, because I want to see the details. Even though certain things were spoiled for me, like people turning into other people, or how the very, very, very end goes. I kind of am interested to see what happens in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think that basically goes back to my questions and kind of things that I was interested to see. I know I didn't really do a good jump around about what happened. Watch the movie. You'll find out what happened. Go online. Do you own a lunchbox? Because everybody's talking about it. And it's like, there was too much. There was too much. Especially because I feel like I'm not a theater person, and this was not my life. I did not watch the play. I did not read the book, and I feel like the questions or things that I would really break down and piece together. One, I need to watch it a few more times. Two, I don't know if I will be able to do it justice for something like this, but maybe something else that I'm really good about, like any of the other shows and sitcoms, stuff like that I watch. So maybe in the future I'll do more of an in-depth breakdown. So we'll see. Because I seen a girl. I have to see if I can find her TikTok again. This one girl, she did it I think it was 4 or 5 parts breakdown, because she saw the movie 4 times to do an in-depth breakdown, every scene and all the stuff that she liked and appreciated and the changes and all that kind of stuff. I loved her review, and her reviewing that made me say, you know what, let me hurry up and put this up, because obviously I went and saw this movie. Let me see. I went and saw this movie on November 30th, and it is what, the 17th right now of December. Luckily, this movie is smashing the box office. That's the only reason why I'm so confident to just go whenever, because it's still in the movie theater and it's still crushing it. You know what I'm saying? So either way. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the questions, right? All right, so here are some questions that I have after my first watch. Now I'm gonna read these straight from here so I don't, tangent like I clearly will do. Number one, does the prophecy mention the color green at all? And is that why the Emerald City is green? And that's why I say that, because, Oz had a prophecy that they knew someone was going to come, and that's going to be the savior or whatever it is, right? And then, of course, the storm brings the hot air balloon and the wizard there. And he is not the all-powerful, God or Oz that they think that he is. But he is a con artist, and he's going to play them. And he was able to use his smarts and engineering to help trick them. But they made and then they made the town the whole Emerald City. Emerald is green. The Emerald City being green is like a focal point. It's very, very important, right? Everything in there is green. All the buildings, uniforms, all that kind of stuff. But he has no power. Whereas Elphaba was born green, had powers. And after I found out who her father is, and I guess why she's green, in my opinion, I'm like, because would she have fulfilled the prophecy? You know what I'm saying? Like, would she have fulfilled the prophecy? Because she can read the Grimoire. So can she fulfill the prophecy? And is all of that happening correlate to that? Because I feel like whenever I watch certain things, whenever they have a prophecy, even if people know what the prophecy is and try to go against it, they will inevitably fulfill it. It's like self-fulfilling. So it's like, did him, hooking up with the mom and giving her that green elixir and all that kind of stuff, did that produce the green person who would be the person to come and help them and read and fulfill the prophecy? I'm wondering that, because I'm wondering if it had the color green in it, is that why he chose to make the city Emerald City? So think about that. And if there is an answer in that I probably missed at the beginning of the movie, let me know. Number 2, is Nessa Rose's character originally in a wheelchair, and or does it matter to her character? So that's what I had then. I actually did find out that answer. Yes, she is supposed to be in a wheelchair. Now the actress that plays her is in a wheelchair, and I feel like I've seen a interview. I may have to go back and find some more to see if they talk about it. But I feel like I've seen her talk about how in the next part they're gonna, do some trick, something to help her stand up. And I was confused about that, obviously because I didn't know what the next plot of the story was, but also because I knew that she's actually in a wheelchair. So I'm like, so does her character have to be in a wheelchair? Yes, her character is supposed to be disabled. That's the point of the shoes. They help her walk. Well, not the shoes themselves, but if you watch it, you'll know. So that one I was able to find the answer to. Number 3, is the woman professor, that's Madame Morble. At the time I couldn't remember her name. Is she the one who conjured the tornado that brought Dorothy's house to kill Nessa Rose? And if that's the case, was that a scheme that the wizard set up to bring Elphaba back into some bullshit? You can't tell me it wasn't. Now my thing is this. I'm wondering when they sent, like, what was the plan? Was the plan to bring a tornado to kill Nessa Rose? I don't think so. Was the plan to bring the tornado to bring Elphaba in case she's like flying around? They're like, okay, this tornado will catch her in the sky and then bring her back here. That's what I want to know. I feel like the storm. I want to know how old Madame Marble is in relation to the wizard. I'm thinking about this now as I'm talking. I want to know how old she is in relation to that. I want to know, did she always have control of her powers? And I wonder who was the wizard first. Who was another magical person there? Because it seems like the only magical people are Elphaba and Madame Morrible, and I know that can't be the case, right? Who else in this fantastical world is magical? Why does Glinda not have powers but then eventually get powers? Or does she just learn how to do, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, did Madame Morrible cause all these things because the wizard was brought there in a hot air balloon by a storm, basically? Did Madame Morrible cause that storm? Was she young and didn't have control of her powers, and that's what had him come back, but she didn't know how to send him back? And then she thinks he's the wizard, of course, and now she's going to basically, now that she has control, she's going to do it again. Wondering. Because to me, I feel like Nessa Rose was collateral damage. Are they happy that she's dead? I mean, they not mad. They not mad that she dead. But also, I don't think that was the plan, because I don't think they really cared about Nessa Rose like that. I think the only people who were really happy that she was gone was the Munchkins, because she was a tyrant. Which is like, girl, you can walk now. What's the problem? Anyway. 4th question. Was Fiyero raised by animals in a similar way to Elphaba? And is that why they weren't affected by the poppy spell? So yeah, like, what's up with the poppies? Like, is that explained more in the book? I feel like that would be more explained in the book, because aren't poppies like the plant that cocaine is derived from? And I feel like I hear people talk about it in the book, that it's more like graphic in the book. It's way more stuff in the book. It's way crazier in the book. And it's like, is that like a drug thing? And it's like, to me, it seems like in that scene, everybody was affected by the poppies except for the 2 of them. And it's one thing if Elphaba wasn't affected because she's the one who basically did the spell, but why was Fiyero not? And to me, I feel like the poppies are definitely significant because it has to do with the animals. Remember, the professor, he had poppies on his desk, and the day that they were in class and everybody had to leave because they wrote that bad thing on the board, they got knocked off and they had a little moment together. And then she brought poppies to the class. She was planning to give him more of them. And it's like, those were her favorite plants too. And it's like, is that like an animal thing? Is that what that is? And is that why they weren't effective? And it's like, with Fiyero being apparently like a prince, princes usually aren't raised by their parents. They're usually raised by the staff. and who are the help and the staff in this universe, mainly animals at this time. And that's why I say, was he raised by animals similarly to Elphaba? You see the connection? You see the connection. I see the connection. I want to know. I haven't seen anything about that. So now that I'm doing this video, I may be able to go look. And if I have anything more revelations, I may come back with a second video. Number 5. Oh, well, basically, yeah. Number 5 is the Lion Cub. Is the Lion Cub, Fiyero and Elphaba saved the Cowardly Lion? And is he scared from childhood trauma, i.e., separated from his mother and put in a cage? And I did find the answers that yes, that is indeed the Cowardly Lion that we see in The Wizard of Oz, is the same cub that they saved from class that day. But the part where I say, is he scared from childhood trauma? I'm wondering that too. Now, I hear that Fiyero took the cub back to like his palace. So, and I think that does kind of correlate to the movie, because that's where they find him, like perched up on like the wall thing or whatever. But I'm wondering, is it like a trauma that he doesn't know where it came from? He's just known, he's always been scared, not remembering that like you were separated from your parents and they took you and they put you in a cage and then you know, degrading, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, sometimes if you have like a trauma that happened to you in childhood and it's like you grew up with it and it's like, yeah, you know, you were rescued from that situation, you got help, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, yeah, I don't remember what happened, but I always get this bad feeling. I always feel worried. I always feel anxious whenever this happens, and you don't know why. And it's like, this is why. You don't remember this happening, but you were kidnapped. You don't remember this happening, but you were basically in prison for a time in your life. And yes, you had reason to be scared, but your brain is trying to protect you, and they blocked it out. So it's like, yeah, this is happening. But also, you need to learn how to be brave because it's in your nature as a lion. And I think that's also a thing too. It's like, you know, they have a natural instinct. He's a predator, but he's acting like prey. And then he's probably one of the few animals, especially about the time The Wizard of Oz happens, probably one of the few animals that can actually talk still. So it's like, I don't know. Like that one, I feel like I'll know more once part 2 comes, and or if I read the book, which I will do eventually, but I'm gonna try to give it like a personal goal to myself to do it before the next part comes out next year. So I do have time, but fingers crossed, because child, who knows? All right, number 6. Is the professor the only sorcerer, and is Elphaba the second? Like I asked before, I feel like where are magicians coming from? I feel like there has to be somebody else who is a sorcerer, because there's only, 2 sorcerers, and Elphaba is only just being discovered because she went to the school. Like, no, because I said no. And to me, it's like, you see Elphaba, talking about Madame Marble, you see Elphaba and you're like, oh, I'm gonna help train you. You're gonna be the wizard's grand sorcerer. Da, 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 da. Does he not have one now? Is that what you are? But you work here at the school. How can you help him? Who was the sorcerer before you? Was there nobody in Munchkinland, in Oz, where Fiyero from, where Glinda from, where anybody else from? There ain't no magicians nowhere. And the only other magician is the wizard, and all he does is sleight of hand magic. That's barely magic. Okay. In the book, I'm very thoughtful, very thorough that they probably did answer. And I want to know this: what is Elphaba's mama magic? Because my thing is this: if the wizard gave Elphaba's mom the green elixir, what was the elixir for? What was the purpose of the elixir? That's what I want to know. But then too, if that's what made her green, did the elixir give her the powers? It's not like her dad gave her the powers. You can't pass down sleight of hand. You can't pass down, pull a rabbit out of the hat. You can't do that. And I wonder, did the mom do that? And I wonder if her being, if their mom was magic, is that why when the first kid come out green, the dad said, okay, for this kid, you're gonna drink whatever this what's called stuff is, that flower stuff or whatever. Is her magic what kept her and the baby alive long enough to have the baby? But because that stuff would have killed the both of them, and all it did was it poisoned them. But it's like, look, your magic is so strong that it helped save us, but it did take her legs. And then as soon as she left, it took your life because you gave her the last amount of, energy or, something. Like, I'm thinking. Boom. Back to where I'm talking. See, my thing is, this magic stuff is the real question. Because number 7, who gives Glinda powers? And is the magic only in the wand or the scepter? Now, this is where I come at. Because, like I said, Glinda came to that school with the purpose to learn from Madame Marble to become a sorceress. You have no powers at all. You have no powers at all. You are not magical. So is magic something that people learn, that you're able to learn it? How are you able to learn it? How are you able to learn it? And then the reason I said, okay, maybe she's not magical. Maybe, what's it called? Marble, she enchants the wand that she gives her. But clearly when they're doing the popular song, she's trying to give her a bog out. It's not working. And it's like, is the scepter magical? Like, because obviously we know her as the fairy god. She travels in the bubble, which she can conjure from the scepter. She can conjure it up. But it's like, I feel like, I personally feel like Madame Marble gives her, she enchants her wand and the scepter with magic after she chooses to stay and Elva believes. Because when Madame Marble comes to like comfort her and take her away, and Elva just keeps looking back at her, she's probably like, okay, Madame Marble's probably like, okay, we can use this girl to either get her back or just keep her here. And I'm gonna give her what she wants so that she can give us what she wants. She wants to learn from me. Let me enchant this so that she can learn how to be a sorceress. So eventually, when she does come back, if she does, we can use her to help get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Or use her for our original plan. We was gonna use her for. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Number 9. This one is the one that I see people still debating about, and I feel like I may do another video about this. And it's, is Glinda good? She is nice to people because it makes her look good, not always because she wants to. But would it be better for her to show her true mean colors? And I feel like that's why I want to make this another topic, because I feel like I can relate to this one a lot. And I kind of want to break down their characters more, so I definitely want to watch it again. And I kind of want to see some other perspectives and see if I either can add to them or maybe push back on them. So I am going to do that as a separate video. And then number 10. Did the governor send clothes after he had Elphaba stay at the school? And was she allowed to stay only because she was the governor's daughter? Without paying, I mean. So I thought about this one because I'm like, Glinda, obviously, she wears pink most of the movie. Elphaba wears black most of the movie. And for the most part, they seem to be wearing the same outfit the whole time because obviously they're wearing uniforms. However, Elphaba was not supposed to be at that school. She did not enroll there. She was accompanying her father and sister to drop the sister off. At the last minute, the dad said, hey, I actually want you to stay here. Stay here and make sure that your sister are all right. Well, no. Stay here and make sure that my daughter are all right, even though she's the daughter too. Okay. And then she was invited to stay because she showed off her magical talents. And now you're being put into a room you're not supposed to be in. She wrote her dad and told her what happened, blah, blah, blah. We didn't see any correspondence back. So did he send clothes for her? And mind you, he's the governor. I'm sure Nessa has a private room too, or probably like a nice room too. He has pool, he has money, all that kind of stuff. Just get them both like a private suite and like get a room that the both of them can stay in. He didn't do that. She stays with Elphaba. Elphaba is wearing the same clothes most of the time. I only see her wear a change of clothes once, and that's a technical change of clothes, and that's when they're in PE. And that's because that's the thing that everybody's wearing. That blue part, everybody's wearing that part. I want to know more about that because so you just said, oh, so they'll take you? They'll just stay there? Perfect. And it's like, did you eventually like send a check? Like, what's going on? Because she ain't supposed to be there. She's not supposed to be there. And it's like, where is her bear stepmom? Did she pack a bag for her and get it sent up there? Or maybe it was too dangerous because she was an animal. She knew, you know, the animals getting banished and stuff. I'm wondering about that. Oh yeah, and then also, was she only allowed to stay because she was the governor's daughter? I think it has to be because she's the governor's daughter and because Madame Memorable personally picked her because clearly no one wants her around because she's green, and then people are scared of her because clearly stuff keeps happening when you come around, like all the magic stuff. So thinking about it. And lastly, lastly, I thought the flying monkeys were the henchmen of Elphaba in The Wizard of Oz. Does she get them on her side in part two? Now that's the part that I almost have to be like, I almost have to see if I can watch a little bit of The Wizard of Oz and check this because I very much remember the flying monkeys being the Wicked Witch's henchmen. Like that was in The Wizard of Oz and in The Wiz. Like those were her henchmen. And in here, it seems as though she's the reason why they are flying around. They were originally the wizard's henchmen, but she's the reason why they're flying around and got wings, and they blame her for the wings because she obviously gave it to them, and they're hunting her. So I wonder at what point is she going to get them on her side if she ever does, and I'm wondering if I'm misremembering because I feel like no, but yeah, I'm interested in that part because I feel like she's going to definitely find a way to meet up with the professor. I cannot remember his name, the goat professor. Meet up with him, or maybe go home to her bear stepmom, or maybe she'll just meet up with the flying monkeys. But I think she's gonna meet up with a group of animals and get like a coalition kind of going and kind of like talk to all the animals and like plead her case. Like, look, I'm sorry that I turned y'all into freaks with these wings. I'm sorry that this happened. That's not what I was intention, but this is what we can do. We have a plan. I can help you guys. I am magical, da da da. And I feel like the animals will discover, oh, she's the prophecy. Like she's the one who they were talking about in the prophecy. She's coming to help us. And I think that's when they start to form the plan and everything like that. And I think that's when she finds out about Nessa Rose dying, or maybe after the fact, because she does apparently go meet up with Nessa Rose. I don't know. I don't know the timeline of this, right? I think she's gonna meet up with them and then come up with a plan on how to take down the wizard. I think that's what it is. But that is more so a storyline that I'm interested to see, which is why I'm really interested to see how stuff unfolds in part two. I feel like I'm very interested in this whole thing with the animals because the timeline that I've heard about what happens at the end is like, okay, but what happened to the animals? Like, did she at least achieve her cause? Like, did she fulfill anything that she was trying to do? Because it seems to me like, from what I heard, that no one really gets what they want, really, except for Glinda, but she's not happy with what she got. Like, she lost her friend, and then she can't even, like, mourn her in peace because people are just excited that she's dead. Or you know what I mean? So I'm that's the part that I'm more so interested in, and I want to see how that unfolds. Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys. I'll just say this: Wicked is my is definitely gonna be my movie. My sister asked me, "Is this my new favorite musical?" And no, definitely not right now. I said I think it could be if part two comes out, but it's mine. Mine is still Dreamgirls right now, just because. Well, I'll go into that one later. But definitely enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. If I have any more revelations or something like that, I will for sure come.
Look back while I twerk. No comparison.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, hey, nasty, yeah. Hacking.